We're inside the clubhouse at Cascades Golf Course. I'm with Director of Golf, Phil Fischmeister, and we're inside today getting a little weather, but it gets you an opportunity to see all the daytime leagues you guys have here. This place is busy.
Yes, it is. The Turf Diggers Tuesday Morning
Okay.
Ladies League. It's the first day of the year for them. They got a little bit wet, but not too bad. I believe the records show that it's the longest running ladies league in the United States.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing. Right here at Cascades, one of the best golf courses for tournament golf, really in the state and in the area. Got things underway this weekend with the spring thaw. What other events are out here for people that want to play in some competitive golf?
Well, we've got spring thaw this weekend, and then in July we're going to be hosting the County Open.
Okay.
For seniors, we also have the Senior County Open in
Nice.
July as well. But just locally in Jackson, those are kind of the two big main tournaments we have here at Cascades, and we also have the Fall Two-Man in
Okay.
October, which is a blast. Two-man event. You play a 9-hole scramble, 9-hole best ball, 9-hole alternate shot. Just a really fun event.
You guys have a lot of competitive leagues out here. I know you have a Thursday night scratch league,
Yes.
and you see a lot of those guys play in the local tournaments. And
Oh,
one thing that's
absolutely.
interesting, I think, about golf in our area, and maybe you could speak to this a little bit, is you can see guys becoming great as they get older. Maybe
Sure,
they didn't
yeah.
have a great, maybe they never played in high school, and you can have people who played in high school take 20 years off and get back into it. It's really a unique sport here in town.
Yeah, it is. And, I've been saying for the last couple of years now that, I'm expecting Brett Velkacek, Colin O'Connell to win one of our major tournaments.
Right.
And it's going to happen, but those guys were primarily baseball players in high school
Okay.
and college, just kind of more casual golfers.
Sure.
But as they got out of college, started getting more serious into golf, and you've seen their games just improve and improve
Right.
and improve.
What does it take to win a local tournament like this?
You got to be really good.
Yeah.
When you look at the amount of competition here in Jackson, I mean, you got to be really good. Almost every tournament, you got to be under par. And so, what guys like Colin has struggled with is, so since he's kind of newer to tournament golf, it's kind of that mental game
Right.
and playing under the pressure.
Sure.
In the last couple of years, he's been at or near the lead, multiple times after round one. But then going into round two, when you're up there for the lead and you got that pressure on
Yeah.
you and just keeping everything together with the mental game, I mean, you gotta, because there's a lot of great players
Right.
that's coming after you when you're up near the lead. So you got to be on top of your game, and you can't let down at all.
And out here, as you finish, you really kind of have to be technical with the last few holes.
Oh,
really, you
absolutely.
can't fall asleep and win the tournament.
No, you can't. I mean, you look at the final stretch of, 14 90-degree dogleg hole that takes precision off the tee to get in a good spot. Then you get to 15 where, the big hitters might try and drive it over the creek, but you better hit that shot, because if not, you're looking at a bogey or a
Right.
double. But even if you lay up, you gotta lay up in the proper spot, and then you go to 17, same question. Do I hit a big drive over the creek or do I lay up? And then if you lay up, you might be 180, 190 yards into a green that slopes back to front. One of the scariest green on the course. So,
Yeah.
you can't fall asleep.
If I gave you +1 over the 17 and 18, how many times out of 10 would you take that?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You heard that.
Absolutely.
One over
Yep.
through the final two at Cascades. You'd take it. We've seen the game grow up exponentially over the pandemic as far as players. Maybe not so much as viewers. I think maybe the PGA and LIV have kind of split that. You're really
Yeah.
not sure who to root for. But it's amazing that the game has been able to grow despite that. Talk a little bit about kind of what you've seen over the last few years.
Yeah, so in 2020 when the pandemic hit, we saw, a huge influx of new golfers coming out because it was one of the only things you could go outside and do.
Yeah.
And we thought that was kind of going to be temporary. Okay, they're playing golf now because they don't have a lot of other options, but things will kind of die back down after the pandemic's over. But that has not been the case. A ton of new golfers, and we keep seeing them come back. And I've talked to some of them that said, never played golf before, but
Yeah.
now that I played, like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. And the driving range, I think, is the biggest indicator. Our driving range is twice as busy as it was pre-pandemic.
Sure.
And you go down there, morning to night, and that driving range is almost full all
Yeah.
the time. And a lot of new golfers out there.
People want to get better.
They do, absolutely. And we've seen a lot of new players in our tournaments.
Okay.
Spring Thaw County Open. There's some kids that I taught in high school
Really.
that never played golf in high school, but now they're out playing in these tournaments. They got it out of college and they started picking up the game, and they don't just want to play for fun, but they want to play competitively,
Yeah.
and see how they stack up. So it's great to see.
Let's sound like some old guys for a second.
No problem.
We're getting there, right?
We're
You just
getting
celebrated a birthday. The golf clothing is changing in front of
Yes.
our eyes, and I wanted to get your perspective of it. We grew up in a time that if you were going to a golf course, well, you better look sharp when you're
Oh,
going
yeah.
to the golf course,
Oh, yeah.
right? Collared shirt, tucked in shirt.
Oh, yeah.
But that is changing across the country to a more casual, even almost a little bit of a party lifestyle at
Yeah.
certain places. What's your take on the way the game's going in that regard? I'm not going to see you out in short shorts. I know that.
The shorts keep getting shorter and shorter
Yes.
for the men.
Right. I don't understand that.
I don't either, and you see the young kids even, they're wearing the short shorts and then they roll them up a couple times. But, for the most part, I kind of like some of the new fashion.
Sure.
I mean, I'm pretty traditional.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of call it that party apparel.
Sure.
That the funky shirts that got all the wacky designs on
yeah.
it, and beer glasses and martini glasses and stuff like that's really popular.
Yeah.
The funky hats that say, they're golf themed, but they say goofy things on
Right.
them, and a lot of the flat bills, the rope hats. And those are fun. Those are
Yeah.
cool. I like them. But I think shoes are something that's in the last 10 years we've seen that big shift away from the traditional saddle
Right,
shoe
right.
to the athletic tennis shoe. But I think the saddle shoes, the traditional shoes, are kind of coming back a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, you see the big time pros, still wearing those. So yeah, it is interesting. It's a lot about style nowadays.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
some of the guys, you just got to get used to seeing some new things on the course. Maybe Jason Day's loud vest, things like that. But it's something I've noticed that maybe some older golfers are having a harder time getting used to.
Oh, absolutely. But I can't believe how many new golf apparel companies have
right.
started up in
Right.
the last 10 years.
Right.
I mean, there's a ton of them. But yeah, so the old, you still see a lot of people wearing the FootJoy and the
Yeah.
traditional clothing lines, but the amount of new golf apparel companies is just crazy.
Did you ever think a hoodie would be acceptable on the golf course?
No,
And
but
it
they've
is.
become very popular.
Yeah.
A lot of hoodies. There's one thing that I just can't get into, and that's the jogger pants.
Oh, right, right.
The guys
Yeah.
got the tight cuffs around their
That's
ankles.
not for
and
you,
they're,
no?
2 inches above the shoes. I just can't quite get there. Not on the golf course.
No, not on
anyway.
the golf course. It is fun to watch, and of course fun to talk about. I highly recommend anyone get out to Cascades. The course is in spectacular shape right now, thanks to Phil and the team. Get out here, championship golf, and great rates here in Jackson County. Phil, thanks so much for being with us
Yeah,
today.
thanks a lot, Andy.